All right, this video is about how long did it take me to cure my food sensitivities. And for me, I would have to say it took me about 2 years. And the reason was because if you watch my 5 keys to recovery, the 5 elements to recovery, or I should say the 5 key elements to recovery, you'll understand that I had to bring my baseline down first before I could train on foods. So I did that for a year and a half first. So I just stayed on my 2 safe foods, rice and beef. And I had a couple more that would come in here and there, right? So I did that for about a year and a half. Then I started training on my foods and then exposing myself to them, having flares, dragging out the flares, asking for more flares, and triggering a stress response on purposely, and eventually I recovered. Now the thing is, when it comes to any other symptom that I had, they were usually quicker. But digestion, some food sensitivities, colitis, diverticulitis, anything to do with the gut, allergies, food sensitivities, I had it all, right? It took the longest because it makes sense, because it's, you have a lot of nerves in your gut and they're connected to your brain. So it's, whenever you're dealing with something, even if you're training on chemical sensitivities, or you're training on some other symptom, it affects your gut because you have activity up here, you have the what if thoughts, you're in a stress, OCD stress loop that affects your gut, and that will affect digestion. So with me, digestion was one of the last things that recovered because it has to feel the effects of everything else that I was training on. So it makes sense, right? So when you're working and the body's working, digestion will always be affected. Another thing is digestion is something that is a long process, right? When you put something in your mouth, it goes down your throat, goes down here all the way around through your colon and everything, and out your butt into poop. That process could take three days. About 3 days on average, right? So, when you start something and you overdo it, it can exit really quickly, right? That's where I had the bloody diarrhea. I also noticed even before I put something in, like before it even digested it, it could exit it out because your eyes are seeing it, your smell, your thoughts are acknowledging what you're about to eat. And literally, I had pains in my stomach just by putting something in my mouth and chewing it. That's how in sync your brain is with your digestion. And that's how it sends the alarms right away. Oh no, don't eat that alarm. Pain, gas, diarrhea. I barely put that in my mouth. Yeah, well, that's how fast it works. And then you can have it where nothing happened, and then you'd have a reaction a day or two later. So it's a long process to digest foods. So along that way, your limbic system could decide to kick it out, and then you have a flare. Along that way, in those 3 days, you could be training on something and have a spike from something unrelated, and then boom, it's affecting your digestion, right? So digestion takes the longest. Be patient. You're going to learn patience this way. Don't give up. It takes time. Work on your baseline first. And then when you're ready, start to bring the foods in slowly. Your brain's going to kick them out again, but keep bringing them out. Drag out the flares. Ask for more. Normalize your symptoms. Get to a point where you're okay with the symptoms. They don't scare you anymore by using the methods that we use to control or to process and allow the mental alarms. Because the mind has everything to do with your body, right? The body follows the mind. If you have control of your mind with the proper methods, then it's very easy to train and you will recover a lot quicker. So that's why it takes longer than chemical sensitivity took me, when I had the methods and I started doing them, took me 3 days, right? Just imagine that. All these people out there suffering for 20 years, if they get the proper methods, well, just watch all my videos. If they get the proper methods, they can recover within a week. Of course, everybody's different depending on how they do the methods, because some people don't grasp it right away, or there's too many triggers linked to certain things. It takes them a while to get out of that state of fight or flight. When you've been used to doing something for 20 years and you're asked to not do it, and then you have avoidance behaviors for so long, it's going to spike fear. So, that's all considered in how long it takes you to recover, right? That's what makes everybody different. But other than that, everybody's the same. You're not special. The only thing that makes you special is your personality, your soul, your character. But other than that, your body is like anybody else's body. It can recover, and it will recover if you implement the right methods and you stick to it. And it's a learning process. Everybody learns in different rates. That's another thing that separates us. So here's just a quick video to give you guys an idea of why does it take so long to recover, and how long should it usually take, and is this normal? Yeah, it's normal. It makes sense. Digestion usually takes the longest, and it's usually the last thing that recovers from the long list of, well, I had 65. It was the one that took the longest.